What is going on, everyone out there in our Catch Chat world? We're excited to be back live with you. Yet another episode here, and another episode after beating Tennessee, which is always fun to have that.
Always a good day.
But guys, we know that you all are on here right now that are already flowing in here, not to see me, not to see Mark. Mark, I would ask how you're doing. I'd tell you what I'm doing, but I really don't care right now because we got a guest that my son already said I have to show him the card that I have of him because my son is all about the cards with me too. So it's great for me on this. But we'll go ahead and bring him in. There's no reason to introduce him because we would be here for 30 minutes to talk about all of his accolades that he has.
The original 00, man. That's all you got to say. The original 00.
We'll bring him on here. Tony, we appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys.
So it was funny because oh, absolutely. So growing up, you were my idol, 00. We've talked about this before. The reason why I wore it, and my son now wears the 00 as well. And he goes, Dad, you really have Tony Delk coming on? You got to show him your card. I said, son, I don't want to be that geek that's like, oh, man, I loved you as a kid. So
it's all good.
Told him that.
It's okay.
Yeah, and he goes, as he was going to bed, he goes, Dad, could you get an NBA player on your show by chance? I said, I tell you what, I'll do that tonight because Tony Delk's been in the NBA for 10 years. He goes,
thank you.
Oh, okay. So again, thank you for taking the time to come out on here.
No
it's
problem.
a big honor for me. And just want to kind of ask you how you think things have been going with Kentucky. Of course, we want to talk about the 96, bringing out the denim and everything. Just being from Tennessee, how was it playing against Tennessee too with this?
Well, you know what? I always got a lot of boos, so it was bittersweet, to be in my home state and to get booed by the Knoxville fans or the Tennessee fans or even Vanderbilt fans whenever we played them in Nashville. So it was kind of, like I said, a bittersweet feeling to be at home and not to be cheered for, for all the years that I played in Tennessee, from middle school to AAU to high school. And but whenever we played Tennessee, I'm always looking forward to talking trash to my classmates, my friends that went to UT. And anytime you get the victory, it's always, to me, it's always great. It makes for a better season. But last year was kind of, we got the 2 regular season wins, and they got the win that counted the most at the end. So that one kind of stung a little bit.
And I get that. And, of course, we were the underdogs of 2 games this year. And Mark, we were talking about, man, there's a chance we could get them again. I said, yeah, but winning 2 regular season, it's hard to beat a team that 3rd game. And if we meet them in the SEC tournament, who knows how that goes.
Yeah, I think Mark has done an exceptional job of just getting the guys to fight. I think that, playing against Vanderbilt and getting boat race in Nashville, I thought it was a wake-up call, not only to, to the coaching staff, but mostly to the players, that you have to show up every night to compete at a high level. And regardless of who you're playing and where you're playing at, Kentucky is like most teams' Super Bowls. So you got to understand, what comes with putting on that uniform, is that you got to compete at a high level. And I think, when you have guys that have been there, who understand how rivalries are, but just what it feels like to play against Kentucky. And when you go on the road, you're going to see, just as many Kentucky fans in some of these arenas as the home teams, should I say.
Yeah, I even think back, I want to say maybe the early 2000s, but the Bahamas trip, I think it was Calipari maybe in 2009. It seemed like we had more fans in Bahamas than was even in Bahama there. I'm like, how in the world do we have this money that we can just travel like this? Because I was in college, I think. I'm like, goodness, we're crazy. That's really it. We are crazy.
That's some big Blue Nation.
Yeah, it is. Some people have disposable, as we say, SEC tournament money, or tournament money. You can look at the schedule and kind of plan out, and that's what Kentucky fans do. And Kentucky, by far have the best fans. They travel, especially on the basketball side. Football's a little bit different, of course. They have a stadium, but when it comes person to person, arena to arena, like Rupp sells out and been selling out for decades now. And the faithful come out supported. Ever since I've been a Kentucky fan, like I can't even remember a time where you can look at a game at Rupp Arena or be there and it not be a packed house.
I want to ask you this too with that, because Kentucky fans, we are crazy, and I've never been to an NBA game because we live in the southeast of Kentucky, and it's like 6-7 hours anywhere you go to. If it's Indianapolis, if you go over to Charlotte, or even Atlanta for a game.
Right.
Since you were 10 years into the league, did you see a lot of Kentucky fans that were actually in the Kentucky gear at your games?
No. I think Kentucky fans are loyal to UK.
Mm-hmm.
Very seldom will you see a UK jersey at an NBA game. It'll probably be them supporting an NBA team, that particular player. But very seldom do you see college jerseys in the NBA arena. Which is kind of cool. Like they you playing in the city, they should represent their NBA team. And I'm sure everybody who's probably a fan have an alumni that they went to, but the NBA is about supporting the NBA brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's. I know a couple of people around here have went to like the Charlotte to watch the Booker games, Phoenix or whatnot, and try to make it an obligation to go watch your Kentucky guys. But I never knew if there was a bunch of Kentucky gear that would show up too. So that's interesting.
No, not very seldom. I know. I tell you where I see that most of the time is it was maybe a few years ago when I was going out to NBA Summer League, was when guys got drafted as a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't have access to no NBA jerseys. So again, that's when you would see the college jerseys was NBA Summer League. You know what I'm saying? So they really hadn't gotten a NBA jersey yet, and that's like the only time related to the NBA where you would see like college uniforms.
Right, I got you. Let me ask you this question here. We got on here on YouTube. Said, ask you if Kentucky ever got booed in Nashville, how would the '96 team respond to that?
No, I think he's talking about because they did get booed in Nashville.
Right, this year. Right. How would the '96 team respond if that
we're not talking about the well, they got booed twice in Nashville, Gonzaga game and probably Vandy. But I think what, when you hear it, that means you're doing something well. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're up like 25, 30 points, or as I always believe, when you send the fans home early. Like there was no better feeling that would have building. And that means like you have demolished your team. So all those boos that might have started the quarter off or the half off, it's over with. Those people are going home pissed off. That's what I love.
So you love seeing the fans leave 5-10 minutes early. I get that, and I think that's hilarious.
Absolutely.
Honestly. It's the walk of shame if you really think
cool.
About it.
And you tell them bye as they leave. Like, hey, we'll see y'all next year. When we might have lost we're gonna. Sometimes it depends on the opponent, but we really, we didn't like nobody style of play, and we played at an all-time high. And our goal was to beat you by 25-30. And that's not our. It's not our job to take our foot off the gas. So don't get mad.
That's right. That's coach's job. I agree with that. So I've got a couple questions that I've had other people ask me, and this one I think might be interesting to you. Let me go up so I read it correctly. So I messaged this guy who played actually in '96 to talk to Cameron Mills, and he was like, hey, that's great that you're getting Tony Delk on there. Tell him that we missed him this weekend, but to let you know that he brought all the swag that you would have had there. So he wanted you to know that. Does Cameron Mills actually have swag?
No. Knowing Cam is probably selling my.
Oh, definitely. He did say, would love to have you up there. And I do.
No, he don't have no swag. Real swag? No, he does not have swag. Okay.
Oh, absolutely not. I lost you there for a second on my end. I don't know if it's my end freezing up, but that's the internet here in Kentucky. With that, of course, we celebrated the denim jerseys the 30 years ago of the '96, bringing them out. I've heard mixture between those. The fans love those, but we've heard that the players didn't because it was denim. It really was hard to play with. What was your opinion on them?
To be honest with you, I didn't like them. I thought when Converse made them, they were made as demos. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe a one time, maybe a one game. But Coach Pitino was superstitious and he wanted to continue to keep playing them. But once they get sweaty or get sweat in them, they get heavy. So none of the players really liked them that much. But I thought with Nike, I figured they probably was much lighter. They looked like they were lighter. I had to maybe feel them and see, but they look a little bit different. Like, but I thought they were really heavy, especially the denim. You know, with the white part, the home were not that heavy, but the roll ones they tend to be heavy once sweat got in them.
I got you. Okay. Now, listen, I know you have a short amount of time with us, and I want to talk to you about so much more. So, real quick, if you don't care, tell us what you're doing now and a little bit about your NBA stint with this, too.
NBA stint, what I'm doing, I was with Dallas Mavericks for 4 years, doing pro personnel scouting, and now I'm currently with the Denver Nuggets doing pro personnel scouting along with college scouting. And also, I still have my basketball academy here in Atlanta called TDBA, Tony Delk Basketball Academy, and we are the Wildcats, TDBA Wildcats.
Hey, okay.
And we go from 10U to 17U. And it's been fun. I really have enjoyed just working with different kids and coaches, talking to parents, trying to get their kids prepared and ready to play middle school basketball, high school basketball. So really just teaching the game and trying to develop as many kids as we can in the Marietta area. So it's been fun. I'm still enjoying it, enjoying being around the game. And, you know, the love and passion that I have has never left. I'm not as fast. I'm not as agile as I used to be. So I tend to watch it and give my observation and try to collect intel and pass it on.
Now, I do want to ask you this because, I mean, you had a great shot. In the NBA then were more twos than anything. How do you think your career would have been if you played in this era?
Definitely would have scored a lot more points, would have made a ton of money. And like I said, I tell people like I'm happy with what I made, but I'm like, gosh, what if I played this era? Like, how much more freedom would I have? And then it's really turned into when I look at today's game and just the positionless, uh, probably part of the game that a lot of people don't talk about. Like, you don't have to be a certain size, as long as you can play. You know what I'm saying? As long as you can go out there and operate, be effective on both sides. It's not about your height, it's about your heart, it's about your will, and it's about you knowing how to play basketball. And I thought that was something that I always brought to the game that I probably didn't get enough credit for. And I wish I could have done more, to be honest with you, in the NBA. I felt like I had a lot more to give. I just didn't get the opportunity all the time to showcase my skill set.
Well, I mean, 53 points in a game. I mean, that's pretty good. I don't care what they say. So
Yeah, I was capable of doing that more often. I think people were like shocked, but for me being a scorer in high
right.
school and knowing that that was a strength that I was blessed with and I could do on a nightly basis. You know how it is. It's really about getting the opportunity. Like if you're going to get 15 to 20 shots per night, and you're part of the offense, and and those attempts are on the regular. I could have had more nights like that, but it was that one special night that I had that made people think like, gosh, this was an accident. I'm like, no, accidents don't happen. Yes, you can believe in that, but I say having a skill set and playing with a great point guard that knows where you want the ball, and then at the end of the day, you have to make the shots.
UK fans knew it wasn't no accident. I mean,
No, no, I didn't. Like I said, the people who know me, who
yep.
know the amount of points I put up in high school, are not surprised. They were like, man, what took so long?
Yeah.
So, and of course, I'll let you go right after this in a couple more minutes. With your teaching the younger kids now, do you feel like you have to almost evolve the way that you learn the game to kind of teach it with them? Because some fundamentals, in my opinion, have kind of went like a daisical and more about, hey, just getting your shot off now. So how do you
it's
think?
it's funny you say that because I think you have to be ready to adapt. Kids are different. If I look back how I played the game 30 years ago to where it's at now, it has evolved so much with, like I said earlier, it's a positionless game. You have your fours and fives that can handle the ball now. So back then it was really your point guard that most coaches want to handle the ball. You might have an additional backup point guard, but in today's game, you can put five guys that can handle, pass, and shoot the three. So it's so different. It's wide open. It gives you driving lanes, and to me, It's a fun game to watch because of the skill sets.
I get that, and I appreciate that too, because sometimes I think, as an old head as I am, I get tired of watching so many threes sometimes. I feel like it's almost a YMCA game where it's like, hey, whoever gets it brings it up the court. They're shooting the three.
Hey, they pulling, they jacking. That's what it is. That's what today's game. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would have loved playing this era. I'm like, to me, there's no such thing as a bad shot, as a bad three. That's what they want you to take. So take them.
Yeah. No matter
how
far
this question. You got to ask him, college or NBA, who's the best player you ever guarded?
Wow. I'm going to give you my two toughest opponents. One will be MJ. The other one will be Kobe Bryant. So
yeah, I think that would be that's a pretty good list.
Yeah, just those were, they were taller. They had a lot of tools, athleticism. Again, like we talked about, they had the green light. You're going to get 15, 20 shots, even if you miss 4 or 5. You still going to get your attempts up. So it's always hard to guard a player who has the green light. You know what I'm saying? Like, only thing you can do is try to contain him, but at some point in time, he's going to be able to get his numbers, or he's going to get going at some point in time.
Mm-hmm. All right, my last question with you here. What do you think is going to happen for the rest of the season for the Kentucky team?
I'm hoping we can get to the SEC tournament and make some noise and get to the championship game on Sunday. That's what I would love. It's been some years now, and then get into the NCAA tournament and make some noise. Sweet 16, Elite 8, and then it depends on matchups. At the end of the day, who you're going to match up against, and of course making shots. And what I would tell the Kentucky faithful, as long as we have we're playing defense, and that's our identity, and we're knocking out shots, we're capable of beating anyone.
I got you. Okay. And when are you joining the staff with Pope?
Yeah, I saw somebody said they'd like to see you be the GM someday.
It's funny. I haven't discussed it with anyone, but I'm really enjoying my job with Denver. As far as like getting to know the front office and how our EVP and how we working on the front office side. And I think you do have to have a GM, assistant GM, have some scouts, and run it and organize it like an NBA team. And that's kind of how you have to look at it with them having so-called a salary cap. I think you have to be able to identify talent, know what to pay who, and and then you gotta get some more pros. You gotta get some guys that gonna be difference makers, and that's what I think Kentucky will get in time. I'm sure Mark and his staff will be looking for someone to help them out.
Okay, so you're saying in the near future you'll be the GM. Okay, I got it. That's what I heard. Listen, Tony Delk, I appreciate you coming on here. And like you said earlier, I know you got a scout and all that stuff. I have to ask you one question on this because I always do a fourth quarter question, and I already had 3 people asking me at church trying to predict what you'll say on this. Our biggest question we've ever asked people that get the most noise is, if you're getting some wings, bone in or boneless?
Oh, come on, man. Bone in, man. Come on now.
See, even Tony Delk knows, Michael. Come on.
Come on, man. Boneless for kids. You get them for your kids.
My hero just called me out.
A real man wants bone in. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to, and you want to get the bone out for your kids. That's okay. It's cool. Hey, it is what it is.
This whole thing, I didn't hear a thing. I forgot to hit record on the episode.
I might want to throw the bone at someone. So I can't throw a boneless at someone. You know what I'm saying? So there you go.
As much as I've liked Tony Delk, I don't think I've ever liked him more than this moment right here.
He basically called me a kid. My hero just called me a kid for not wanting a bonus. I mean, I can't be more disgraced than that, but I guess so. Again, like I said, we always get so much comments about that. So I do appreciate you coming on here. We'd love to have you again at some point. Maybe when you have some more time, we can talk some more.
You know how to find me. I'm easy to find. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, man.
Okay, take care.
God bless. Another fun interview, man. Like, he's always fun to talk to.
Oh, yeah. But it just hurt my soul right there.
No, he knows. Tony Delk knows.
I know.
Yeah, he knows. Like, you should have known better, Michael. I would say that at least 80% of the population, they want bone in. It's what it is. If you're going for wings, you want bone in. like you said, if you're gonna eat them in the car, yeah, you might do boneless, but it's normally going to be bone in.
It's okay.
And I do apologize
if you're watching this later. I still love you, man. That's the reason I wear the 00 because it didn't have
I love him even more now.
But boneless. It's not messy. But all right, Mark.
Some of us ain't scared of getting dirty.
We just had Tony Delk on the show. How awesome is that?
That's pretty. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was calling the game last night at Bell County. We had a doubleheader, boys and girls doubleheader. You messaged me, you're like, Tony Delk's coming on tomorrow. I thought you were just being stupid, and I was like, whatever. And I was like, are you serious? And you said, yeah. So I was like, I was pretty pumped, man. I always get, especially these guys, because these are the guys I watched. I mean, I was only a few years younger than them. I was 16 when we won the national championship, right. So I was very, just awestruck when getting to watch them during that time because I was playing basketball too. So you just wanted to see them play. So
these are the guys
neat getting these guys
in front of Granny and Pop's yard as we on the goal that was on the tree with no backboard.
And like he's talking about like one of the hardest players to guard was Kobe Bryant. I'm sitting here with a Kobe Bryant card laying here, and I'm just like, that's pretty cool. Guys, I was sitting there thinking, I know he played in the time with Jordan and Bryant, so I was like. I had a feeling those names were coming, and it's always great to see our Padre on here watching.
Good yes, and of course, it's even perfect with that we were talking about Tony Delk because I will vividly remember as I think 10 years old watching Kentucky play the LSU game where we were down by like 31, I think it was. And Dad left the TV. He said, they're done. This is pitiful, blah, 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 insert everything else. And I said, Dad, you can't give up on this team. And we came back and won that game. And that's just one of those memories that I'm like, to watch that team come back. And I think they ended up being called the Comeback Cats. I can't remember. That might have been the 98. I might be lying with that. But it was just
that was the Mardi Gras miracle. Yeah, like Michael said earlier.
And this was one of the reasons that they came back with that. Just what all he did. The whole team played much more aggressive. And, of course, I think we had Jeff Shepard that said they didn't want to lose 2 games in a row with Pitino because they knew the practice would be horrible.
Definitely.
It would still hit the treadmill if Pitino told him. Yeah, so that was one of the reasons they said that they got fired up and came back in that game because they didn't want to lose 2 in a row because they knew practice the next day would be horrible. But, yeah, I mean, the 96 and the 98s, the 97, the 94s, let's just be honest, that whole era was really special for all of Kentucky. It was a great era where we came off of the not being able to be in the NCAA tournament because whatever happened, and then Pitino coming in, changing things, and just so many memorable players during that time. Hishimu Evans, Wayne Turner, Jeff Shepard, Cameron Mills, McGlure, of course, Tony Delk, Mashburn, McCarty.
Mashburn, that's man. If we interview him, I might I don't know. That was the guy because for you, you were a little bit, you're 6 years younger than me. So when Tony Delk was playing, you were 10. That's right in the age where you're getting interested in basketball. You want to play. Yes. See, you back up a few years. That was me with Mashburn. That's how I was. So
yeah. So man, Monster Mash. Yep. Oh, sorry, we're both clicking on it. So yeah, that was really the love for basketball. Really started with Tony Delk and everyone else during those eras. So awesome that we got to have him on here. Now, guys, we know we haven't talked about the Kentucky-Tennessee game. We talked a little bit about Denham, and I guess we need to kind of talk about that. I've got the stats brought up here just a tad bit. Hang on one second. I got to mute this, Mark. Go ahead, and if you don't care, talk about the Kentucky game.
Well, I mean, it was a fun game to watch, partially. There were some parts that were really good, some parts that were not so good. Let's just be honest because I mean, when you come out with a win, whether it's an ugly win or a pretty win, it's still a win. That's all that matters. So, there were the biggest problem with our team, I feel like we go in these spurts where we can't shoot. We just can't hit shots. We can't find our rhythm. And it parallels to me. Like I've noticed even our girls and our boys team this year in high school, we have those same spurts. Like there's been a couple games where our girls have only scored 1 field goal in the first quarter or not scored a field goal in the first quarter, just scored foul shots. And they will still hold on and win some games. But I'm like, man, if y'all just get to the basket or shoot a little better, like you can make this so much easier on yourself. And I feel like sometimes we get out of that rhythm of what we're doing. And that's the only argument I ever have with this team is I feel like sometimes I don't understand like why we do the lineups a certain way at certain times. I don't understand that. I mean, I'm sure he's got his analytics and there's a reason why. I'm not a coach, so I can't go into all that, but I just get confused. You know, me and you've talked about it many times. You'll have a certain player that may have a really good game, and then all of a sudden they don't get that many minutes in the next game, and you don't know if it's a matchup issue. You don't know if it's a just something like that they're worried to mess something up. So,
yeah, and I get it. I do. I mean, obviously, he has to be doing something right with this lineup. Well, we get so far behind, and then it comes back, and we chisel at the lead until we take it and win it. But yeah, if we could put two halves together like we play the second half, we would be blowing out teams by 15 and 20 points because we wouldn't be getting down by so many points to have to come back to win. So hopefully we can figure that out and get that energy going from the beginning, or at least maybe the energy is the reason we're not playing well in the first half. We're getting too pumped and not settling in and focusing, actually reading the defense and making the right calls. Or maybe it's just Mark Pope is such a great X and O player or coach that they can make those corrections during halftime and really discuss it and talk about what's going on. I don't know. But I would love it for my health and my blood pressure if we could figure it out before the game starts.
We've got some clutch shooters. I know that's for a fact. Now, I love the fact, you know, there's a saying, shooters have to keep shooting. That's just what it is. If you're going through a dry spell, you got to keep shooting because you're never going to get it to go through the hole if you don't. And that's one thing I did like about Chandler in that game. You know, he missed his first couple, 2 or 3 shots like from deep. He just couldn't get it lined up, but he kept shooting and he kept persevering, and well, it came out in a good way for us.
And just to talk a little bit, I've got the stats, and you guys can look at these too. It's on ukathletics.com. You can go to the game, type on the stats, and it's actually the official live stats that they keep from each game. And this one here from it, the Kentucky-Tennessee game, is literally 24 pages long of just stats and facts that they got going on here. But just as far as the minutes, of course, Yelovich played 20 minutes, Marino played 26, Ortega played 36, and Aberdeen played 30. Then you got Chandler playing 27 as well. And then the bench given pretty much, equal minutes too. Garrison was 17. Mo had 15. Jasper only 10, and then Trent had 15 as well. I'd love to see Jasper get some more minutes. That way Aberdeen can get under the 30-minute mark as far as reps. And even Ortega could probably take some more time off with that. And Jasper, as we know, he came on the show. He's got so much talent. He's still growing as a freshman. I understand that. And that's
the only way he's going to learn is combat. I mean, that's the way you're going to learn.
Right. And to think that Jasper Johnson, as much as he was shooting in high school, or at least at the overtime, I think it was, 1 for 3 is all he got in 10 minutes, which still 10 minutes is tough. He was 0 for 2 from the three-point line, shot 2 free throws, of course. But I think the talent, obviously, we say this all the time, and I still believe it. And, Trent plays smart. He may not ever have the stats, but he don't turn the ball over. He may make a stupid foul every now and then or run somebody over on a screen. But he at least is in there rebound and make the right calls on the passes, and he's making some attempts on these steals. He had 2 steals in this game in just 15. So,
and he took that one, just took it away from Ament. And Ament's he was one of the top 10 freshmen coming in. So
29 points against us.
And I love the fact that he's been attacking the basket. That's one thing I do like too. He's attacked the basket a little more. Mm-hmm. I still think he's a little hesitant sometimes outside.
Right.
Because you don't have that long of a window. Usually in the college, you're not going to get a very open window for a 3 unless it's us trying to guard Ament that night, because we did leave him open on several threes. But I will say this, when Trent was guarding Ament, I felt like he didn't get open as much on threes. And I feel like sometimes on our rotations, we get lost, and that's how these guys get left open.
Right. Right. Of course, we have talked about this many times. If he doesn't, and we're going back to Jasper on this comment, if he don't get as more minutes as he thinks he should get, he may leave in the portal. I'm hoping he don't. He is Kentucky grown, so hopefully we have that to stay with. But
as much as I'd like to say he's a Kentucky boy, and I want him to stay, it's got to be what's in the best interest of each of these kids, man. They got to do what they think's best for them. I hate it when a kid leaves. I really do. I didn't like it when Travis Perry left. But
that's what I was going to say. I couldn't believe we booed him for the fact that he was going to be 4th backup on point guard, and to transfer, you're getting 2nd string and $1 million. So, why would you not want this kid to leave? So, I don't get it. But fans can be fans and they get to do whatever they want to, and I understand that, and I respect that. They'll boo if you want to, but you shouldn't boo that guy. Okay, let's see here. I bet we keep one of Aberdeen, Jaspers, or Lowe. I would think that would be a good one.
So can Lowe come back? Does he have another year?
He's on medical red shirt. Is what they're going to try for. That's why they went ahead and just said, okay, do the surgery.
Somebody said he even hinted at coming back this year, it sounded like.
Taking some time off, I think it was. Be back soon is what it said on Twitter or X. I don't know.
I've actually heard rumblings that, a lot of people have been saying they've shut Quaintance down because of NBA draft stock. I've heard rumor he's coming back. We don't know what's going to happen.
Here's the thing, and I hate to be this guy for the team I love. JQ, I think that rumor is going wrong because since they went down, what are we, 9-1, 7-1 or something like that? We've only lost one game since Lowe and JQ went out. Everyone thought we were done. Like, oh, wow, we may not even make the tournament. And now we turn it on and win all but one game, I'll say that. Since then, we are looking good. We're winning games. Let me say that. We may not be looking good, but we're winning games. So why would you not want to come back if we make a good run?
No, he's saying here who we see first, Cam or Hawthorne. I'll be honest, I think it'll be Cam. I really feel like Hawthorne's just a red shirt this year. I think it's
from injury? Yeah. Hawthorne's not playing this year. And I hope I'm wrong, but we're 20 games in or something like that. There's no point of wasting his year. And
I would have loved to have seen it because, like I said, this kid in practice and this kid watching him play, he's fun to watch. He reminds me of Tayshaun
Prince, yes. Let's go ahead and do this since his name's been mentioned. We do want to actually say to Braden, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Today is his birthday. He seems like a good kid. I mean, I'm just
he really does.
Seems like a good kid.
His dad's pretty awesome too, man. Like talking to his dad on Twitter.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to tell everyone that.
Well, I mean, you've talked to him. He's a nice guy.
And I know I'm trying to figure out how to say this correctly. When we see all these posts about early games, warm-ups, and all this stuff, the first person I have been seeing pretty much every time has been Hawthorne. He's the first one out working on shots. I even seen highlights where he's shooting left-handed and right-handed, which is crazy to think. But I also know there's probably last-minute conversations with the coaches on what we're going to be doing before they go out. And Hawthorne probably isn't really have to focus on that part, and that's why JQ can come out and shoot some too. So I don't want to think too much in it, but at the same time, I think it's awesome that even though he's not going to be playing this year, he is still working on his game every minute that he can. It's been great seeing the growth of this team in the last month. Absolutely.
And here's the only thing I worry about. Let's say one of these fellas do come back. Now that we're playing at this clip with what we're doing, do you want to put somebody else in that rotation to mix it up again? Like, or would that be like starting over?
That's what I'm talking about with JQ. As far as this year, if JQ comes back, I'm like, hey, maybe our chemistry that we have going on right now is better without you. I always think.
Honestly, though, like I mean, I could see him coming in for Marino, coming in for Garrison. Like, I will say, I'm happy with Garrison's play here lately. Garrison's really stepped it up. Otega finally is looking like the SEC player of the year he's supposed to be. Yeah. My only argument with some of these players is I feel like we get tunnel vision sometimes on offense, and we drive and we don't kick it. And there'll be an open man in the corner, and we just won't kick it. We force those little bunnies, and it's somebody mentioned earlier that our layup percentage is horrible at times, and it really is. So why not kick it and get an open three? Like, I'd rather have an open three than a contested three, or even a contested, like, in the paint 3 or 2.
Right.
So I just wish that they would open their eyes a little more on offense. I mean, I'm not fussing at them. They've been playing great. They've been finding ways to win. They're doing it the hard way. They let themselves get down, and then they battle back, but they're still getting the wins. So,
yeah, and I may do this at some point, break down some film on it a little bit, because I talked to you once about the Gonzaga game, how it was very stagnant and stale, basically, how everybody was just standing around on offense. It was 4 out and someone setting a pick and kind of just going from that. I feel like now, I don't know, I know Pope has talked about dumbing it down quite a bit, but I feel like the offense is actually moving. The players are moving a lot more. Maybe they just now are clicking on the understanding of it. and able to execute what they're trying to do more fluently. So there's not as much off-ball standing around from the three-point line. Otega, beginning of the year, he only wanted that three. Let's just be honest. He wanted to stay out there to shoot that, and I think it's because the NBA said, hey, you need to work on three. So he's going to stand out there and shoot some threes to try to get that percentage up or just show him the stroke. But then
just show him that he has an outside game.
Yeah, but now you're seeing sometimes when he's that weak corner and the Aberdeen's penetrating, there's a great read by him. He's seen the back of the defender's head and helped defense. So he went baseline on that backdoor cut, bounce pass to him, dunk. He's seeing like, hey, this is what I should be doing and taking care of business instead of just standing out there waiting for a three ball. So
I'm glad you mentioned Aberdeen because he's like that one player for me that there are times I absolutely love him. Like it's just amazing to watch what he can do. He can shoot the ball well. And then there's times he leaves you going, what are you doing? Like, why would you take that shot?
Right.
And it's kind of an enigma. I don't know. It's just, I love him. Like I love the team. Like I'm not going to sit and badmouth any of these kids, but I guess part of it is youth. Like that's part of it. What are you doing? Hey, great shot. What are you? It is what it is. And nobody brought up this point. He said he thinks half this team will be back. I really hope you're right. I really do. But my concern is in the era of NIL.
Money.
There are no promises. There's no guarantees.
Right.
There are people who be like, I love this team. I'll be back. We had a quarterback that just told us the same thing, and now he's at Arizona State. So and I'm not bad mouthing him. He's got to do what's best for him. I get it totally, but
Stein may say not want him. So
and I think he may have been saying, I want to be here, but if they said, hey, you're not going to fit into what we're doing, he needs to go.
Right. Yeah, I'm an Arizona State fan, just because.
Absolutely, because he was an awesome interview.
Yeah. A lot of fun. And honestly, the game my son and I went to, as they were coming out of the off the field after the win, his dad apparently was right beside of me, and I didn't realize it. And then as he came out, he was talking to everybody, trying to sign babies and kiss hands and stuff. His dad said, "Hey, Cutter, come over here." And they opened up the gate. He went out there, took some pictures with somebody that made the trip and all that stuff, and just was super nice. So I was really hoping that we could keep him, but we're still fans. Okay, let's see here.
We also interviewed Ponatoski, though, and he's coming, so he's a pretty cool guy.
It's funny you say that because that's what's on my TV right now. I usually try to watch us live so we get YouTube watches, but I stopped.
See, I don't do that. I hate going back and watching myself. I don't go back and listen to myself. Even singing in church, like doing praise and worship at church, I rarely. Now, I have listened to our podcast before. I did listen to our podcast with Derek Abney the other day. Just because I was outside shoveling snow and I just wanted something to listen to. But I like Gerard's question right here. He says, I won't be really mad if the Cats lose on Saturday unless they roll over. A 40-minute effort's what I'm asking for. That's me. If we lose, okay, you're playing a great team on the road in the swamp. I can handle it if you lose. If we lose by a big margin like what happened at Vanderbilt, then I'm going to be mad. You get what I'm saying? Like, I want a good effort for the full 40 minutes. That's all I ask for.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Let's just be honest. Florida, defending champions, they're big down low. They really
their front court worry me a little bit. Like, we're going to have to play strong. We're going to have to be strong.
Tennessee is a front court team as well,
and we played well with them,
and we handled it. I mean, so. I don't know how much I am worried or I should be worried, but, I'm with you. I don't know if we win this game. If I had to say, hey, this is the score I think it's going to be, I'm going to say it'd be like probably 83-75, unfortunately, in favor of Florida. But if we can stay with it and keep it in it, we always have a chance because we got ice in our veins. I mean, let's just be honest. We close out games, and that's a great thing to have. Go ahead and read this. That's too much.
It says, do you think since they have won 8 of 9, did Pope save his job? Or do you think if we get put out first round, maybe second of NCAA, he goes back to the hot seat? I don't think there was an issue of him losing his job. I don't think there was a chance of him losing the job this year. I really don't. Like, it's his second year. Yeah. I mean, look what he did last year. He put together a great, I'm not going to say great, but we put together a good team in a short amount of time. We were pretty great. We made the Sweet 16. I mean, we're the top 16 teams in the nation. So, I think the thing that's the elephant in the room is just all the money that was spent And the way we started this year is just, beating Purdue in that exhibition. Everybody's like, that's it, national championship. But just like any job, you can have good days, you can have bad days. And that's part of it. You got to learn to gel with people. I mean, there's people that I see every day that I work really well with, and there's people I see every day that I try to avoid because I don't really gel with them. And I'm not being mean. I'm just saying, do what?
I said, sorry, teachers that might be close to Mark.
I'm not necessarily even talking about teachers. I'm talking, just people in general. I'm just saying there's always that.
No, Mark is a teacher. He teaches.
I hate you.
Sorry, carry on.
No, I was done. I was just saying the way this year started, it just, I don't think you got to give a coach at least 4 years. That's just me. Unless, it's just horrible off the rip.
Yeah. I'm actually,
or they're doing horrible things.
I give them 3 years. And Stephen, it's a fair question because the way we were losing, it was pitiful.
I mean, according to the fans, he was in the hot seat. Like, let's just be honest. It was a viable question because everybody's like, this is bad. Especially when we started out, 0-3 in the SEC, or was it 0-2? We lost our first couple games. I do know that. And it just, everybody was.
Alabama beat us. Did Missouri beat us?
Yeah.
Okay, so 0-2. Then we went played Mississippi State. We won that one. And then we beat LSU, Tennessee, Texas, Ole Miss, then we lost to Vandy, beat Arkansas.
Yeah, we've only had 3 losses in the SEC right now. So we started out 0-2. Gerard says he thinks 4-3 in these last 7 games is possible. I agree. I think it's very possible.
Okay, and just so everyone knows who we're talking about on this, it looks like it's Florida, Georgia, Auburn, South Carolina, and Vandy again. That's the next 5. He said 4-3, so we'll finish it on out. Texas A&M and then Florida for the last game.
Now, all of these teams are good. I mean, you're going to have to play ball. But I think you do need to be above 500 playing in these games.
I don't know, man. It's going to be tough anyways because some of these games are going to be on the road. Anytime
if they go 3-4, I can handle that because you're still finishing with a pretty good SEC record. You're not in the bottom of the SEC. So, I mean, it's just – I want a pretty good seeding for this SEC tournament.
Right. Of course, Florida this Saturday is on the road. Georgia's home. Then the next 2, Auburn and South Carolina, are on the road. Vandy comes back home. I'm excited about that game. I want to really see how we respond or answer back to that game. And then Texas A&M on the road. Then we finish with Florida at home. So I want to say we beat Florida at least one time. I'm going to hope that. So I'm going to say we win one of those. I think South Carolina is a W for us. I really want to see how we go back with Vandy. But Texas A&M, they beat a top team. I can't remember who it was that they beat, but they upset maybe Duke. I can't remember. So that's a tough game. So, yeah, I'm going to say we'll probably go 3-4, and that's tough to do in itself. So finishing out the year, I'd say we'll end up being – because if we win against Florida, I think we're number 1 in the SEC in rankings.
I think we would be.
So I think we may finish 4 or 5, maybe even 6 at the end. And I'm okay with that because even like Tony said, it has been years since we actually did anything in the SEC tournament. So it would be nice just to see us try to get back to it.
See, the thing that worries me, though, this is like kind of stories write themselves in the NCAA, it seems like. So we beat Florida. Everybody's going to be pumped again. Everybody's back on the Kentucky train. It is what it is. And, those fans that love you or leave you, like they're not fans all the time. I mean, everybody gets frustrated. And there's games that I quit watching just because I don't like the effort. But it doesn't mean I'm not a fan. So it's one of those things. I just watch something that's better entertainment at the time. But what I'm saying is, like, if we beat Florida, everybody's back on that train. So then if you start losing again, it's just, you know what I mean? I would rather lose to Florida and then win more games down the stretch than beat Florida and then have another lull. Because I don't want a lull going into the SEC tournament. That's the thing. I want us to keep that, just keep the intensity as we go.
Right. You know what I want? This is right here what I want. Everyone listen up. I would love for everyone to go subscribe to the YouTube channel on
Please.
That's fine, YouTube. Here we go. Go like and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell on the YouTube. We are on our road to 500. We're at 409 right now, and we need your help because when we get up to 500, things might change a little bit for us. We might actually be qualifying for some monetary benefits of YouTube. So please go like, subscribe on that as well.
We want to thank our sponsor, Golden Flame Wings, Golden Flame Hot Wings up in Lexington. We appreciate you guys more than you know. It's our only sponsor right now, and they're awesome. We would love to get some more sponsors, maybe even some local here in Harlan or, surrounding counties, Bell County, any of the counties around us. Like if you know somebody that'd like to sponsor a spot, we're trying to get on the radio a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Mikey, you got some connections out there in Pike County. He'll hook us up with somebody that can sponsor.
That's what I'm saying. Give us a little sponsor. We ain't wanting a bunch of money. We ain't going to be expensive.
That's right. Yeah, we are.
Hey, I do want to say this. I hate to toot our own horn, but you did say that you received an email. You want to tell them about that email?
I guess we can go there. And Mikey, I do want to talk to you about this. So I have no shame. I don't care to. We don't. I don't care to try to shoot for the moon on things. And so last year we've been gotten in, I guess, with the women's basketball team. We've been able to make some media credential passes and everything. And Mark, I don't know if you know this, but I did try for the SEC tournament for the women's to see if we could get media passes on that. But who knows? South Carolina, we might need somebody to loan us a house.
That's not the email I was even talking about, but we'll talk about it after you do this one.
I know. But so anyways, long story short, I reached out back before the season started about trying to see if the women's team would ever be interested to do like an exhibition game somewhere around southeastern or eastern, just so some more fans can get out to see the team, because it's hard for us to travel that far a lot of the times, or just even financial. Anyways, long story short, I touched base back with the women's basketball team, the coordinators and everything, and did get an email back that they're still interested in this upcoming season, or prior to the season, starting to try to do something, and it possibly will be in Harlan County. I think it would be awesome. I've been reaching out from different people just to try to get some costs on things to lay it down for them to be like, oh yeah, we could do that. Or
some folks are trying to make it really easy on us. Like they really are. Yes. Like I know when I was asking about our gym and stuff, they're like, look, this and this. They're trying to make it easy so we could do something like this.
Yeah, so that would be awesome. So maybe sometime before the season actually kicks off for the Kentucky women's basketball, we may be able to have them here in Harlan County to maybe just do a meet and greet, sign some autographs, do something like that. I'm pushing to try to see if we can have like a little miniature scrimmage or something, have our high school team involved with it, or even try to see if we get Blair Green, Macy Morris, some of them to come back to do like an alumni scrimmage or something. I think it'd be pretty cool to have. But so, yeah, the more follows, subscribes that we have on this stuff, the more able we are to do some of these things. So, yeah, I think it'd be really awesome if we can make that happen.
Now but you tell about the other email.
I don't know what email you're talking about. That was
the one that you sent me first thing this morning.
Oh, that email. Oh,
well, how do you forget? Like you're the one sent it to me.
It's been busy, so I thought you meant that one. I was going to not share that.
I mean, I like both of them. But
okay, so I sent you a picture of it, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, yeah. Let me go find that picture so I can just tell you exactly on it. I got an email from a place that I never heard of, but it's called Feed Spot, I think it is. Yeah, Feed Spot Podcast. And they congratulated us for our podcast and all this stuff. And it went on to say that we are in the top 60 best Kentucky sports podcast as of February 1st of 2026. So as we scroll down through this, I sent a picture of Mark. And, of course, I want to do a quick shout-out to Vinny with Believe in Kentucky. They're number 2 in the whole top 60 of the podcast. Believe in Kentucky. If you haven't followed them, check them out because Vinny's from Harlan too. And then let's see here, go on down through here. We're a little ways. It's okay. Let me get down here to us.
You know where we're at.
I do, but I just wanted to say it.
I think it's destiny. It's destiny calling.
Why destiny?
Because what's Kentucky ranked right now, Michael?
They are number 25 in the.
And what are we ranked right now, Michael?
We are ranked in the top 25 of the podcasts covering Kentucky sports.
We are 25. That's what I'm saying. 25
yes,
to 25.
We are number 25. Yes. And it's really awesome. On Apple ratings, we got a 5 out of 5. So that's That's awesome. Thank you guys on the podcast.
Thank you, the 3 people that did that. We appreciate it.
It's been more than 5.
No, we do appreciate you guys, though, especially you guys that get on here every week, ask questions, interact. That's what we want. Like, if it's just me and him talking, I love my brother, but it would be super boring after a while. So, like, having you guys in here to change things up and ask questions, we appreciate you. Thank you, Gerard. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah. One thing that really was great is Kentucky Sports Radio Podcast Network. Now, this isn't their show that they do on the radio, but it's this show. I don't want to say, well, it's Jack and Sean that do the host of this. They were ranked 27, so it was nice to be 25 for the moment.
Yeah, now, I don't even know where these rankings come from. I'm loving it at the moment, though. I really did. I was like, hey, like, I know this probably doesn't mean much, but hey, look at what we're ranked 25. I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, awesome. And what's this Johnny saying? Hold up, boss.
Some folks from WIMT actually heard about Cats Chat, and yes, meteorologist Eric Dean actually followed my Johnny Cats Chat Twitter page.
Hey,
Johnny, we appreciate, man. You give us big heads. Like, you just send it out to everybody, and you share it with everybody, and we appreciate it, man. We know you share every time we do this. You get into every conversation.
He is our anchor. We appreciate you, man. Even my wife now knows who you are and talks about you somewhere. We met you out. Where did we meet him? I can't remember, but
see, I have an epic photo with Johnny. I'm gonna have to dig out sometime. It was Halloween when he was still in school at HC, and I'm in my Fred Flintstone costume, and he was a whoopee cushion. So I'm gonna have to dig that one out for you.
Thank you. Oh, that'd be nice to see. You need to share that on our social.
I'm gonna have to find it. I've got it somewhere. I just don't know where. Man, I bet I have 5,000 pictures on my phone because my daughter, everybody, they go to iCloud. They upload every photo. Oh my gosh.
I understand. All right, guys, it is 9:53. We're coming up on an hour. Apparently, if we were able to get this, actually, Mark, I got that other email I might have mentioned to you. I have to look at it. Okay, yes, about the radio stuff. So what we said, we do have to meet. So, okay, awesome. So guys, please like, subscribe, share, do all that great stuff for us so we can keep moving up, because this is year 3 that we've been doing this, ain't it? Or year 2? Well,
I don't even know, Michael. It seems like it's just been a day.
I think when football starts, that will be starting our 3rd year.
I think so, yeah.
But that would be starting our 3rd year. So,
and we've only had a sponsor for this past year. I think like they sponsored us. We finally got sponsored in March. Is when we got that sponsorship.
Was it March?
I'd have to go back and look.
Because I know we said through football, basketball, I think. Big things happening for Cats Chat. We appreciate that, Mikey. Of course, we got to. Moving on up. That's what we like to say. But before we get any further, guys, this is about all we really want to say and talk about. Hopefully next week when we're live, we'll have another special guest. We've been talking with one about possibly joining, one that we've had before. But hopefully we can say that we beat Florida and we're not going to go null, whatever you said later on. But
I will say this. Yesterday was the anniversary of when Jody Meeks hit that last second shot to beat Florida.
Hey, awesome. Jody Meeks is
very underrated, I feel like.
You know what? I meant to, and I wanted to ask Tony Delk this about the jersey conversation we had last week, but Jody Meeks is one that we might not have said that probably deserves it. He never got a ring, but the 51 points against Tennessee and just –
gosh, I'll never forget that game.
That was awesome. Luckily, we had him because we weren't looking good anywhere else. But anyways, getting sidetracked again. Guys,
we appreciate you guys so much.
Mark, where can they find you?
I mean, it doesn't matter. You can find me at Big Daddy Lawson, or is that right? No, it's at DJ Mark Lawson. That's what I switched everything to, because at DJ Mark Lawson on Twitter and at DJ Mark Lawson on Instagram. You can find me at Mark Lawson on Facebook. I think the only thing that's still Big Daddy Lawson would be Xbox, and I've not played in a while.
Oh, man, that's so sad, by the way. You can find me on pretty much all social media platforms at MDLawson00. And, yeah, do all that stuff. But most importantly, we want you to go to the Cats Chat. YouTube.com/@CatsChatPod.
Share it with all your friends.
And, Mark, we really need to do some shorts, some reels. I've been talking with some stuff, and apparently if we were to – and this was projected – if we were to do 1 to 2 shorts a day for a week, that we could get over 100 subscribers in YouTube by just doing shorts.
What do you mean by shorts? Could we just chop up a video of we've already done, or are you saying new content?
Probably new content, some chopped up, but more or less like, hey, you know, this is my top 5 players in Kentucky. Da, 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 da. Hey, Tennessee, you suck. We beat you twice. You know, do some stuff like that and post it. So we need to dedicate.
Got to stay humble.
Anytime we beat Tennessee. And I will say this. I went to the Tennessee game at Tennessee. That's a nice arena. If you've not
they do have a very nice arena.
I was very impressed, especially with the skyboxes basically they had. Like, unfortunately, that orange really sticks out in the arena, and you can really tell how many people are there. They do a good job with that.
Looks just like a prison jumpsuit, yeah. I'm sorry, I had to. Like, I don't hate Tennessee. I just aggravate my Tennessee buddies all the time.
Yeah, because you used to wear a Tennessee hat all the time, you little turd.
I had a buddy that's a big Tennessee fan. That was my vulnerable years. I was impressed.
Bobby Ray, right?
Yeah, Bobby Ray's all Georgia now, though. He lives in Georgia. He's a Georgia Bulldog.
Of course, I think his wife commented on our Catch Chat pod about where you are located, and she had mentioned that they're in Georgia. I just seen Ray, and I think it has to be kin to Bobby Ray here.
Yeah, he worked basically at the hospital for the college. Like, he used to do a lot of stuff with them. So.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Hey guys, we've been rambling here. We're going to go ahead and, as some people say, we're going to land the plane here, guys. Thank you all so much for following this episode. Thank you, Tony Delk, for calling me not a man because I want boneless wings.
It is what it is.
Have nightmares about that, but that's okay because the most important thing in life is our Lord and Jesus. And if you want to have a great life, there's 3 things that you need to follow. 1, love God. 2, love others. And 3, love UK sports.
God bless.